Hey everybody,
Hi there.
welcome back.
Yeah.
We're going over another roll.
Who knew?
Go figure.
Yeah.
JD, what roll is this?
It's like we're not out of them yet.
Nah, we have a couple.
I have 6 more,
Easy video content. Let's go.
including this one. 6, yeah.
Yeah.
This one's the Ranger.
So the Ranger in Quest, in my opinion, is not like a Ranger you would.
No, it's not a D&D Ranger.
No, it's completely different. I feel.
Not a Lord of the Rings Ranger. It's not.
Nope. It kind of dips into a little bit, in my opinion, like a little bit of druid-ish kind of situations. It's. Let me redo this. It kind of fits into more of an animal-esque kind of like nature kind of character than it does more damage.
A little.
It's got like one nice little thing, but
Yeah, it doesn't really. It's more utility, I feel like, than anything.
that's the word I was looking for.
Yeah, it's very utility heavy. Starting it off, it has 5 different learning paths. You have story and song, survivalist, pathfinder, hunter,
Friend?
and friend, which is your animal one.
That's my favorite.
3 legendaries on this one. We'll get to those in a minute. Start us off with story and song. What do we get in
So
story and
story and song, actually, to me in this game is actually kind of very bard-esque. It's the rabble rouser because with your commune, your folk song, you basically kind of get to rally people behind you, have them support you. You can kind of depress a crowd, or you can kind of like amp them up, which is kind of sweet.
Yeah, the folk song is really neat.
And what's really rad about this one, it's one of my favorites I want to talk about a little bit, is like the speak myth. You basically get to create a myth that has happened in the area that you're at. That's going to kind of allow you to kind of like make some changes to what's going on in the world. It really gets kind of interesting too, because you can use some of these abilities to basically start rumors and stuff too, which basically kind of take off like wildfire, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, story and song is 100% your influence on the common folk. The next one being survivalist. This is your nothing but utility.
Very much kind of like almost, I mean, I feel it does kind of come into like a little bit of alchemist here a little bit for some of the stuff that you can do with like
herbologist.
Yeah. Very much an herbologist. Everything from remedy. Shroud is really neat because it kind of allows you to basically take the plant life and the floral life that's around you.
Huge.
Yeah, and basically allows you to kind of create like your own little sanctuary a little bit, kind of a little safe zone.
I tented my pants. I've made myself a nice pants tent shelter.
Full stop. Shroud is one of those things that I feel like every ranger, no matter what, when you start ranger, you take 2 dip in survival for Shroud because it's that strong.
Shroud's really good. It basically, long story short, it will also allow you to basically take a full rest and give you the benefits of a long rest.
Right. The other 2 on that one are signal, which is kind of neat. You get to call an ally. NPC, which has its own benefits.
You basically spawn a second ranger to fight alongside you
for a short time. And then ritual is your spirit journey.
You basically go out, you're looking for some plants, you go ahead and take these plants, and then you basically just go on a spirit journey, which is...
You get to go to the astral plane.
If you have an invoker with you.
If you have an invoker. You get to tag along with an invoker, which is really cool. Otherwise, you just get to go on a little mind bender trip.
You get to trip balls, and you get to see some serious shit.
Yeah.
This is like the apex of the vortex of magic engineering.
But there's benefits to it. Like there's upsides to it.
You get to ask some questions and stuff that you can get the answer to and stuff like that.
Next one being Pathfinder. This is your scout ranger. This is everything of your, the lay of the land. You don't get lost. You know where things are. Read the winds. You know the weather. Navigate. You don't get lost. You know the land. Delve. You're able to shout into a cave and
you can click. You can make a sound. Any type of oral.
It's this pseudo echolocation that works out to like 3 rooms away from you kind of thing.
Yeah. I really think before we go on, this would be something really good for if you don't want to stick to ranger, and we'll talk about the class later, but this would be something really good for a spy. I
agree entirely. And then speak with trees. You talk with the trees. They either give you some information or they help give you protection and warning, and that's what it is.
Plot twist. What if like this entire class, your dude you just toasted the entire time?
It'd be a fun way to play it. So the other 2 are hunter and friend. These are your more typical what you would expect from a ranger. The hunter is your tracking, your distance shooting, you're locking people down with your attacks.
You also have Deadeye, which is really good. And it works in 2 ways. One is basically a freebie essentially for a crit, and when you spend the AP to do it, you'll basically land a crit shot without having to roll for it. And you also get to pretty much incapacitate that limb at the same time,
right,
without having to roll a 20, which is the other side of it.
Stalk is you can sneak up on people. You essentially get free ambush. And then Nemesis is kind of a unique utility. You have knowledge of one entity if it's close enough, and if you've met it before, you know where it is if it's close.
We were talking about earlier, the easiest way to break this down is you basically pick one specific thing that you've ran into, and you get a spider sense for it. Like anytime it's around, anytime it's far away, which is really interesting because we were talking about this earlier. What if this thing can teleport? Do you recognize it's going to be there before it teleports?
Right. Or what if it's scrying on you? Do you sense it when it's scrying on you? Because technically that's a portal of a sort to where it can see you, so it's kind of present but not really.
But it is.
But it's not. So it's one of those
house
weird
rule
ones.
it.
The friend path is everything with your animal companions.
This is one of my favorites because, I mean, I'm a big animal lover. So you basically have, like, you speak with animals. You can basically talk to them, understand what they're feeling and stuff like that. You can have minor conversations with them because in this game, they are not really capable of, like, super intense conversations.
It's more of emotions and feelings and...
They understand simple things.
They understand you. What you get from them is more emotions and some things like that.
But you can also, before we go on, like you can ask them simple things like, "Hey, have you seen this kind of thing? Do you know where this is at?"
The rest of it is 100%. You have an animal companion. The second one for it is animal partner. You have an animal friend that runs around with you. No smaller than a mouse, no bigger than a horse, and it's essentially another party member.
It's your D&D's ranger bird.
Yeah.
Falcon.
Courier lets you send an animal on a journey to take a message up to or no more than a day's travel away.
Take this message to the village as fast as you can.
Parabon makes your animal partner better and gives you like a mental link with them where you can feel what they feel and you can see through their eyes and that kind of thing.
You can even basically
take over their
body and become them.
Yeah, for some AP if I remember right.
Yeah, there's an AP cost.
The last one on that one is really cool. Whisper on the Wind. You summon a flying creature to you to go do something that you want.
It's the
It's the Call the Eagles.
Yeah. And then it'll take some time for it to get there, and then once this this flying creature, once this flying creature gets there, it will basically like listen to you and kind of like obey your commands for the next day. So you can use it for maybe transport. You can have it go do something for you and come back.
It's like an improved courier.
Yeah.
But that's all the different learning paths for the ranger. Details were up here and everything else, and definitely more details in the book. The 3 legendaries, Wild Celebrity.
Take Wild Celebrity. I'm doing Friend of the Land.
Wild Celebrity gives you better pets. That's essentially what it does. You're able to call a large group of animals that count as one entity that fight on your behalf. They have a pretty large health pool. They hit really hard, or they can hit. You can split up their attacks and hit multiple things at once with it. And the other side of that is it also just improves whatever animal partner you have. It makes them a little bit stronger, a little bit tougher, that kind of thing.
And you've got Slayer. Slayer is kind of like the DPS, or not even DPS because it outright kills things.
Right.
Wherever you're in a fight, you've got a swarm of baddies, minions. You go ahead and activate this ability for 4, and half of them are just dead.
Half of anything that's not a boss is dead.
Goodbye.
And that's it. That's all Slayer does. It's really simple. It's really short, but also it's really freaking strong.
And then you've got Friend of the Land. I made a joke about this earlier. It's very much kind of the Snow White kind of thing.
This one's interesting. So, Friend of the Land, you beseech the creatures in the area. They consider you a friend, and because you're their friend, they make you a fort.
Yep, up to 20 rooms.
20 rooms, common area, bathrooms, a forge. Like, essentially, you have a small town in this little hideout that they make.
The way this is going to work is depending on what kind of creatures that you've befriended. Like, you're thinking chipmunks, you're thinking ants, or you're thinking birds. It's all going to kind of bring together what this little, I'm going to call it a home or a fort, essentially, what they're making. So if it's ants, it's going to be like an ant hill. If it's a bunch of birds,
you have a treehouse.
Treehouse, big nest.
Yeah. If it's a beaver, or a bunch of beavers, you have a dam that just has this massive structure underneath it. But yeah, that's everything for the Ranger in a nutshell.
I really, really like all the animal stuff.
I really want to play Ranger at some point, just because I think it'd be fun.
I'm not gonna lie, because the way this works and just because I think it'd be funny, I would definitely play like a stoner ranger because it would fit.
Exactly.
Whoa.
More roles coming up next.
Yep. Until next
Until
time,
we're
then,
done. Yeah.
stay awesome, be excellent, and more importantly, love each other.
We'll see you next time.
We're out. Man, what I really like about the friend of the land thing, though, is even at the end, they're like, we got your back. But sometimes they just want to play with you. That's super cute.